Salute to all the Patreon members, all the supporters, all the subscribers. I want to thank you guys for your support and your contributions made to the platform. It really means a lot to me. It's been a while since I've done this. It's been about, I don't know how many months. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you to anybody, and everybody that's watching right now. All right. Hold on, let me get some of these things ready right here. I want to thank everybody that's tuning in right now. It's been a while since I've seen and heard from you guys. All right. I wanted to do this because, here we're seeing the same thing that I've been seeing for years that I warned guys about. And you got some new guys on the block that have stated, that have talked about their time in South America, and they encourage a lot of people to travel down to South America. Some guys that were the same ones saying that they've retracted this statement. All right. And they're kind of seeing what it is for them to be a black man traveling abroad, going to different countries. It's not as bad as what you think it is, but it's not as great as what you think it is. And this is a downside of traveling to certain countries. I have said for the last, I don't know how many years, to stay away from South American countries. I hate it when it does that. I'm trying to show I'm trying to show this. I've talked about for the last, I don't know how many years, to stay away from South American countries. All right. I've been telling brothers for years, go to China. If you want to travel and live abroad, if you want the wife that you claim you're looking for, go to places like China. But, and I got kicked out of a group because people were DMing me, asking me to explain, why they should go to China. And I'm like, I'm not here to encourage you. I'm not trying to convince you to go in, encourage was the wrong word. I'm like, I'm not here to try to convince you to go to China. I don't know why you guys are in my DMs, but I have a whole YouTube channel. At the time I had all my videos up. I got a whole YouTube channel talking about this. I don't have time to explain this to you. They ran over to the admin and the admin had me kicked out. Whatever. That group, they were slow over there anyways. Right? But getting back to this article and what my message to you guys out there is there's nothing wrong traveling anywhere. But when you have the country's government saying, hey, fellas in America, guys out west, don't come here. There's a state of emergency with our local people attacking, drugging, and unaliving and robbing foreigners that travel over here. When you get a warning from the government tell you to stay away from them, then you've already been warned, not only from people like me, but from their government, right? So without further ado, I just want to get into this. How am I going to... I got two screens open, so I'm trying to... Okay, this is different from... I'm not on my laptop, so the laptop, they had the squares. I'm gonna just go over on this screen and hope for the best. Do it on one screen at a time. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys two articles. I'm gonna show you guys this one because of CBS News. The other article, they go more in depth as to what happened to this man right here. I'm not gonna play the video. The other articles from Atlanta Black Star, and they go more in depth. I don't know if they're a credible source or not, but I'm going to use them anyways. But I'm going to start off with CBS News. So right here, Minneapolis entrepreneur found unalived in Brazilian rental home. Authorities suspect foul play. Well, actually, I am going to play the video, but I'm going to mute it. So this was WayneMorris. Okay. WayneMorris was Jamaican. either he's Jamaican American or he's Jamaican. I mean, I know he he went to school and everything in America. I don't know if he was born in Jamaica, then ended up migrating over to America, but he is Jamaican, of Jamaican descent. 43 years old, lost his life. He was an entrepreneur, and I'm going to read that in an article. This is him, right? And I want to tell you that I don't know if he married this woman that they're about to talk about. They just said that they were life partners, but this was his lady right here. All right. And I'm trying to be sensitive for the live stream, for this platform right here. I'm trying to be sensitive, but when I read in the article and said that he was Jamaican, I'm like, okay, that makes a whole lot of sense, because a Black American ain't bringing a woman like that home. I'm gonna just tell you right off top right now, a Black American man won't and cannot bring a woman like her home. Not because she's a non-Black woman. It's kind of like, hey, come on now, like, but I'm gonna be sensitive. All right. So this was his lady. They had a blended family. I don't think they were married. Dwayne has one child. She came in the relationship with 3 kids. All right. And this is a situation where doing the right thing, and like I said, I'm trying to be sensitive, but doing the right thing, staying at home with your woman, could have saved you. Right. This was a thing where it's kind of like, hey, man, you're in a relationship. Uh, be faithful. Don't go out there and creep on the side or whatever, allegedly. And I'm gonna read in the second article why I say allegedly, but you know, don't step out and do this, that, and the third, knowing you got a lady at home. If you made her your lady, then be faithful, be loyal. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know if he was cheating or not, but reading the second article, the Atlanta Black Star said that he was lured into the home by he was with somebody. They didn't state the person's name. They didn't state if they were a male or female or not. But him and this other person went into the home with 2 Brazilian women, and they were drugged, robbed, and this man started like foaming out the mouth. But this was his lady right here. This was a situation where, man, if you were allegedly stepping out on some, let's just, you know, kind of take a turn in that direction, right? If you were stepping out on your woman, because I don't think he had any business in Brazil, right? If in fact you were stepping out on your lady, this was a lesson where, man, if you'd have just, if you didn't step out, this wouldn't have happened, right? But who knows? He might have been doing some business, might have been meeting up with somebody. I don't know. And things just went left. I have no idea. And they did travel together. All right. They traveled together. That was their thing. Um, all together, it's about 6 people in the home. Right. It's her 3 kids, his 1 child. I've talked about that before, but I'm not going to go into it in this video. I guess that's just my personal preference. I'm just not into women with that many piercings in the face. And if I were to bring home a woman, especially a non-Black woman with her hair shaved and a bunch of piercings, I know somebody will pull me to the side. But that's just me, right? I'm not trying to be insensitive on what they had. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and everyone is able to find somebody for themselves. So those are different pictures for him with them 2 together and their friends. Look at them traveling, right? It's not the face. I'm not saying that. Oh, okay. This tattoo right here. When I see a tattoo like that, especially on the hand, I'm like, eh. But you get the point. All right. This is the video right here. You get my drift. All right. If you guys can do me a favor, I said flavor, please hit the like button. Okay. Minneapolis authorities in Brazil are investigating after Minneapolis entrepreneur was found unalive while on a business and vacation trip. But I don't think he was with her. All right. I don't believe that he was with her because in the article it states that it didn't sound like they were together and, going to Brazil. And she said that she found out that he hadn't been there for 24 hours. As soon as he got off the plane, him and whoever he was on the plane with met up with some ladies and then brought him back to the home. And then he was unalive that evening. So he hadn't even been there for 24 hours. So a little bit about his background. WayneMorris, 43, was the president and founder of Blue Waters Consulting and Seoul Community Development Corporation. The Roosevelt High School graduate has strong ties to community. He was a fun partner to have, said Tamitha Richmond. This is Tamitha Richmond right here. Morris's life partner. She said he made everyone he met feel as if they were his best friend. He has a way about himself that everybody believes they are the most special person. When he is interacting with them within the last week, the amount of people who told me they were Dwayne's best friend or brother and sister to him with no blood relation, and that's really how he showed up in his relationships, Richmond said. From his time as a teacher, a basketball coach, or working at a nonprofit across Minneapolis, Morris gave his all to what he was doing. So, he was all about helping out the community. While others may have seen him as him staying really busy, it really was more about Dwayne was sharing his gift. So it came easy to him, energized him to be able to connect, to help and provide, said Richmond. Morris graduated from Southwest Minnesota State University and managed a $14 million portfolio of businesses as well as provided financial consulting. Morris was a sole provider for his blended family, which included Richmond's 3 children and his 1 child. That's a better man than me because I don't have any kids, but if I do have a child at most, I would preferably deal with somebody who don't have children, right? But if I do deal with somebody that has a kid, they got to have 1. You got to have the same amount or less than what I have. I can't show up with 1, you show up with 3. And that's just me. But that's not the focus of this article right here. Their home was a place where they mentored other young adults. Another way he gave back to community. To be a partner with Dwayne is really to share him with the world, Richmond said. As a family, they loved to travel. We traveled to a variety of countries. That's why she has so many questions about what happened in Brazil. See, this right here states that you didn't travel with him. Because up above it said that he was on a business trip. I'm not saying that nobody has business in Brazil, but come on now. And it's for any woman that's out there listening. If your man says, I'm going on a business trip, oh, where you going? And you check the itinerary, you check in the plane ticket, and it says, you check the email, and it says Thailand, Brazil. Your antenna should go up. Okay. I know he was all about community development, but Brazil ain't your community. It sounded like he was trying to go down there to start a community. I'm just kidding. All right. I know this man lost his life, and that's not something to laugh about. I'm just kidding. But the thing is she wasn't there with him. That's why she has so many questions about what happened in Brazil. It doesn't make sense. Dwayne was in the country less than 24 hours. So brothers out there, let's put the relationship to the side and wondering if he was stepping out or not. I know I gave that light in the beginning, but let's take that off the table. Let's put that to the side. Maybe let's just say he was down there really handling business. Let's say there was a business opportunity. Him and his business partner went down there to Brazil. Brothers, within less than 24 hours, it hadn't even been 24 hours, and this man was targeted. All right. This is why I'm saying you guys need to reconsider going to South America. I'm not saying don't, but I would like to go to Costa Rica. I would like to see how Costa Rica is, but I wouldn't seriously holler at the women down there. It's not that I wouldn't uh communicate with anybody down there. Of course, I'm going to talk to the local people if I can. If there are people that speaks English or practice a little bit of my Spanish down there, right? But the thing is Costa Rica, I'm not on dating apps, right? I'm not on dating apps because in the next article I'm going to show you, they said that it was two women that that accompanied them to the home, and this happened. Where did they meet these women at? Right. And I don't think that's a follow-up article they're going to put out there in the public. That's information that's pretty much going to be only disclosed to his family and friends. Let's speculate. Were these women that he met when he landed, or these were women that he had been talking to on an online dating app before he landed there? Because this man was targeted. Dwayne had not even spent the night in Brazil. He was found unalived in his rental home. His family, as well as authorities, suspect foul play. He was targeted. His unaliving does not overshadow how much he contributed to the lives of many. He leaves behind a legacy of love and empowering others. He's planning a celebration of life in Minnesota. Okay. Morris will be buried in Jamaica. His family has set up a GoFundMe. Okay. So I want to show you guys another article. Okay, let's take down this article, and I'm going to show you this one right here. Okay. They go into a little bit more detail on this one. And I'm just give me a minute. Let me read through this, and then I'm going to chime in. Then I have some people call in. Minneapolis man unalived is unalive less than 24 hours after landing in Brazil, after two female suspects used common scheme to lure the entrepreneur to be drugged and robbed. Right? This is a long headline right here. And this is brought to you by the Atlanta Black Star. I'm hoping this is a credible source, because I don't want to analyze this article and it's not a credible source. I don't normally go to the Atlanta Black Star. For anybody that's out there in Atlanta, is this a credible media outlet right here? I'm going to assume so. Authorities in Brazil have identified a female suspect in connection with the unaliving of a black entrepreneur from Minneapolis who became the unwitting victim of a tourist scam during a business and vacation trip to South America earlier this month. Leticia, wow. Is it Leticia or Leticia? I want to see what this woman looks like. Leticia Clara Bento da Silva, 23 years old. Okay, I think I got a picture of her. Oh, hey, I think they got video footage. Is this her? Whoa, hold on. I think I got a photo. I think I got a photo. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the press. We're going to pause this. So they have one of the women in custody, and there's video footage. Um, this is her. This, 23. Okay. I'm assuming it's like a driver's license photo. I don't know if she's been in trouble with the law before, but this doesn't look like a mugshot. All right. It looks like um, a driver's license photo at the DPS office. Okay. Oh, okay. This looks totally different than the woman he has at home. All right. Long hair, that dark, that brown tannish skin, those lips, the nose ring, the eyes. Hey, hey, I don't know where he met her, but boy, let me look at this video real quick. Because they got her. Oh, okay. Is this it? Wait, let me turn off the. Oh, yeah, yeah. This is him. Hold on. Wait. We got him in. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm gonna show you the video footage. I found the video footage. Wow, this live stream is gonna be a little bit longer than I expected. Um, why isn't that showing up on the screen? Okay. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this? I don't have audio playing, so I'm just gonna play the video footage. Everything is in Spanish. So this was 2 hours ago. This is her. This is Leticia Clara Bento da Silva. 23 was identified by Brazil's civil police as one of the suspects in the so-called Good Night Cinderella scheme that targeted the 43-year-old American tourist in Copacabana on August 8th. The scheme involved drugging the unsuspected man and taking his money and belongings. They got a name for it. It's called Good Night Cinderella. The second suspect has not been identified, but police have obtained photographs of her from surveillance footage, according to local news reports. Okay, so let's play this video. It shows them out at a restaurant. It's two people. Remember, I said he didn't travel to Brazil alone. So as soon as he landed off the plane, he met up with these women, and they met up at a restaurant. Is this him? Yeah, he looks like he's more in shape right here. Because the other photos, I guess he was sitting down, right? It seemed like he lost a little bit of weight. Well, I don't know, but it seemed like he was ready. You got the runners on, you got the shorts, t-shirt, ready for Brazil, August 8th, right? That's what the article says. This is him. This looks like him. Got your jewelry out. Oh, okay. So he met up with. That's them going into the restaurant. Okay, so holds her hand out, starts caressing her, grabs her Fannie Mae foundation. All right, so then he's outside. Well, he goes back in the elevator with no shirt on. They're walking around. Okay. There's more video footage. Okay, so they get past the front desk security. This must be his business partner right here, or a friend. I don't know. And they're walking. They got two girls with them. They didn't have to put his passport out there. Or maybe she took a picture of his passport. All right. Well, he had a birthday coming up. Maybe I don't think the police took a picture of his passport. I think she took a picture of his passport. Okay, that's them two. The girls are coming out of the vehicle. That looks like it might be like Grab Taxi or Uber. They go inside the restaurant. It just shows them at different angles going in and out of the restaurant. Okay, that's a close-up on them. Everybody is, it's the elevator. I don't know which one. I'm guessing that's his girl right here. I don't. Okay. They sit outside and talk. Okay. You got a clear visual on everybody. I mean, they got them in 4K. And I think that's after they left. So it's like 2 a.m. Okay, so what's done was done. They robbed them, I guess, and that's what happened. Okay, I can't tell out of both of them which one is who. They just going in and out. All right, so they got them in 4K. Wow, that's sad. I think they'll eventually catch this other lady. Let's go back to the article. All right, so I'm glad that I was able to find that after Googling. Okay, let me double check to make sure. All right, there we go. So Leticia Clara Bento da Silva, 23. So I mean, this woman, I don't know how old the other woman were. They were 20 years younger than them. Look at that age gap, right? And that imagery, if I showed you that imagery, right? If I would have posted up that imagery like on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever, and like a travel space, a lot of brothers would give the thumbs up to that. You know, leaving positive messages in the comment section, only to find out later on that one out of those 4 people didn't, you know, they didn't make it that night, right? That they were drugged. I don't know if the other guy was drugged also. He probably was, but out of both of them, one of them didn't wake up after that. It's sad. The second suspect has not been identified. I already read that part. This is him right here. So, you know, this is him. You know, as you can see in the video, he was clean shaven, right? This is him with a beard, glasses. The victim, WayneMorris, was the president and founder of Blue Waters Consulting and the Seoul Community Development Corporation. Police said the American citizen met with foul play inside a rented apartment on, I can't pronounce this, Rua Butthole, Bullholes, Bullhoes, I guess Bullhoes. I thought it said butthole. I ain't got my glasses on. Rua Bullhoes de Cavallo. Just one day after he arrived, right? So the other article, CBS News, said that he, you know what, his lady said he wasn't even there for 24 hours and that happened. And I guess I mean the next morning, because they left at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I guess that's what they meant. Police said he was lured by 2 attractive young women who then drugged Morris and his companion in an attempt to rob them. Now, did they pull him off the street? I don't think they pulled him off the street. That looked like they had been talking for quite some time through the internet, right? But I could be wrong. That's just my conjecture. I could be wrong. I'm not saying it's a fact. I have no knowledge, but I'm just speculating. They used the term lured here. So police said he was lured by two attractive young women. But it was deception, because in the front of their mind, they're thinking, okay, we're going to have a good time. In the back of their mind, it's like, okay, we're going to do this, that, and the third, but I'm going to, drug you and then, take your stuff. After being drugged, Morris reportedly convulsed and foamed at the mouth. He was unalive by the time the police arrived. The condition of the surviving victim was not reported, so we don't know what happened to the other guy. Da Silva and the unidentified accomplice befriended Morris in Lapa before he was double crossed. Capitol Homicide Police said, okay. So I guess as soon as they stepped off the plane, they met them. Authorities said, okay, so yeah, I was right. I didn't have to Google her. I didn't look all the way down in the article in the beginning. Authorities said Da Silva immediately fled the area, prompting an intensive search for her and the second suspect. So yes, this is her. All right. I mean, I hate to say this because you took the life of an innocent man, but attractive. Police revealed that Da Silva was already a suspect in several cases involving drug-induced thefts, but in the case of Moore, she was facing murder charges. So this woman, that's her thing. I mean, that's the thing that you hear all throughout South America, but I mean, this woman, that was her MO. As officials retraced Morris's movements, they uncovered surveillance footage that captured his faithful encounter with the pair of suspects, which I already showed you guys. They did not disclose the details of how he met the women or what they may have discussed. Okay, you said up here they befriended each other in Lapa, but did they just meet up in Lapa, or they probably met up or were speaking before he got off the plane, before he even arrived in Brazil? I don't know. They did not disclose the details. We offer our sincerest condolences. Morris, a father of one, was a graduate. Okay, so they go into his background. We already read that. He oversaw a $14 million business portfolio while also offering his expertise in financial consulting. That's impressive. Before college, Morris attended Roosevelt High School. So I've already read stuff like this. They got a GoFundMe. They successfully raised $30,000 thus far. See, when you're a shining light in the community, right, you're able to come up with this pretty quickly, right? So the embassy, and hopefully, I'm sure most of that, if not all, will go to his child. I don't know if he has a son or daughter. They don't state that in the article. All right, so let me get a picture of. Let me leave this man's picture up here. As a matter of fact, let me open the image in a new tab. I could just leave it right here. I don't have to open it in a new tab. So here's the thing, man, and I'm going to invite you guys to speak if you guys want to speak. If you guys don't want to speak, you don't have to. But it would be nice to hear from you guys because I haven't heard from you in a long time. All right. There goes a link right there. If you want, you could click the link and, let's chop it up. I'll bring you up on here, give your 2 cents on what you think about this. What do I think about this? So let me give a disclaimer. And before I go further and, get my opinions on this. So the lady, his lady, I don't mean to disrespect this lady. It was just something that I noticed that, most Black American men, with lineage from both sides, right? You don't normally typically see them, I would say, with non-Black earthy women. Is that the correct term? So I was kind of shocked because they interviewed him, and then when I watched the video, I was like, oh, that's his lady, right? So when I saw his lady, I'm like, okay, I don't think this is a Black American. Then I kept reading further down. He was Jamaican. So I don't mean to disrespect your looks or anything like that. But anyways, How many more times are we going to be able to? How many more times am I going to be able? Not going to be able. That's not the right term. How many more times am I going to open up my phone and see this? We don't have to keep seeing this at all, right? I think if he would have went down there with this lady, it would have been a totally different scenario. But um, I don't want to focus on this man stepping out, on his relationship. I'm pretty sure he loved his lady very much so. And I hope that she doesn't hang this. I mean, she doesn't have, her significant other anymore, right? But I hope her last memories isn't going to be, well, this dude was allegedly seeing somebody else cheating on me, flew all the way down to South America to cheat on me with some hooker out here that unalived him when he went down there. But I hope that doesn't hang in the back of her mind. Like, you know this, but I hope that's not her fondest last memories of him, right? One incident, you can come at an angle and say, hey, well, had he, quote unquote, done the right thing, right? But I don't think they were married. So according to the government, it's just a partner. You're either married or you're single, right? So it's just two single people that came together as partners to look out for each other, to help one another out. Okay. So you have a guy right here who allegedly stepped out on his relationship. Um, the article said he was on a business trip. I don't know, but got off the plane, met up with a lady. His friend met up with another lady. They both were renting out the same room with each other. And, I've talked about this in a previous live stream from before. I don't know why guys book the same room when they travel somewhere. To me, it's just kind of strange to me, right? If if you have a room, I got a totally different room, probably in a different building. I like my space, right? You know, I don't know, but I've seen that quite a bit. I've seen guys get in trouble where they book the same like Airbnb room. And it's like, the last live stream I did, it was like 5 guys in one room and one prostitute. And the local authorities had to show up because, she was asking for more money. But the amount of money you gave it, like, come on, that was only for one guy. And like 5 of y'all show up. Like it was, you know, I sensed trouble from the beginning just hearing about this story. Right. But in this case, it is what it is. They booked a room together. I don't know how the room is set up. It might be a day room with 2 separate rooms. I don't know. But they got 2 girls. Both of them are staying there. 2 girls. I don't know how many bedrooms are in that room, but unfortunately, this man was unalive by a method that we've seen countless times, right? This good night Cinderella thing. I mean, we've been seeing this in the news for I don't know how many years. This is their thing down there in South America. You think that you're doing good business with somebody, right? I don't know if they paid. I don't know if they didn't pay. I don't know if, like, hey, we just met up on a dating app and we kicked it over here and it is what it is. They weren't talking about no money. See, the thing about it is some women, they talk about money, but then they get greedy. Then some women ain't talking about no money, but really they want money, right? And a lot of these women, they know, okay, in their minds that this is something that they do. In their minds, culturally, a lot of black men don't pay for sexual advances. So they might have came across as the fun girls who just want to kick it and maybe we can, build a long-term relationship down the line, they come across as that. But then on the flip side, it's like, well, I'm really not that. It's just I don't present myself as that because these guys, or I'll say black men, don't have a good history of paying. They really don't like to pay, right? What do you do in that situation? I'm just speculating right now. I don't know. But here you have a man who lost his life over nothing. And how did she drug him? Remember I did that one live stream with a guy, he came on live. Well, he on his YouTube channel, he got on live or he recorded a video, snot coming out his nose, drool coming out his mouth. And he was talking about how he was talking about him and some chick that he invited over. They were watching a movie, laid on the bed. She offered him a drink. He drank it. And then 12 hours later, he said he passed out around about midnight. 12 hours later, noon, he wake up, all his stuff is gone, right? His crypto and everything is wiped out. I believe he said that she made a drink for him. Did she make a drink for him? See, I don't trust anybody that makes a drink for me. Like I look at people sideways, even if it's family. I'm like, no, I'm cool. I get my own, right? I just don't like when people bring drinks in for me. I don't care who it is. I've always been like that. I've never been drugged. If I leave a drink unattended for a few seconds, I throw it away. If I have a bottle of water and I left it there for about 10, 15 minutes and there's other people in the home, I just throw it away, right? I get another one. I really only drink water anyways. It's cheap, right? Did she make a drink for him? They're not going into specifics in the article as to how this person got drugged. Did she put something across her chest? Like I don't. What method did she use? Where did they meet? These are the questions that need to be answered because they're important. Where did they meet? Breath deep. Where did they meet? How did they meet? Well, they said Lapo, but how did they meet? That's what I want to know. And what method did they use? What method did she use to drug him? All right. Brazil is one of those places where it's like, and it's not even Brazil, it's just all of South America. Chile. I'm hearing it all over. These brothers are traveling, down to South America, and this is a common occurrence over and over and over and over and over again. You hear about it in other countries as well. Like you hear about it in Thailand, but the things that I've heard about in Thailand, these women and some of these guys, some of these articles I read, some of the lady boys have drugged them also. They'll get drugged, and the hooker, the prostitute, right, the gutter snipe will take their card in Thailand and buy dumb shit. There was one article years ago when I was living in Thailand. This dude got robbed by a lady boy. She took his card and went straight to 7-Eleven and bought dumb shit. 7-Eleven in Thailand ain't like the 7-Eleven in Taiwan. It's totally different. But still, it's like, I mean, this chick took his credit card and bought fucking chips and like the tea and eggs and I'm like, really? You drugged him for that? When he woke up, canceled his credit card. It was credited back to him, but he had to call his wife to get help. And she was under the impression that he was on a business trip. When you hear business trip, and this is anybody, or I don't know if women listen to me, but when you hear business trips, right? If you hear business trip and the business, first of all, it all depends on who's saying they're going on a business trip, right? You can't be in the field of unskilled labor talking about you going on a business trip. No, they're not going on a business trip, right? They're going on a busted trip, a busted trip. That's what they're going on. they're going, yeah, they're going on a trip. They're going on a trip to bust it wide open. It's a busted trip, not a business trip, right? When somebody says, hey, like, if they say they're going to Cincinnati, Ohio, then yeah, they might be going on a business trip. If they're going to Wilmington, Delaware, then yeah, they might be going on a business trip. But if they're going to Brazil, if they're going to Argentina, if they're going to Colombia, if they're going to Thailand, Pattaya, right? If they're going to, what's another place? Amsterdam, that is not a business trip. That's a busted trip. All right. And it's sad that, okay, this brother right here, it's like, now let's go back, right? Because he was on tape with another woman. He had his hand around her waist and around her ass and everything. And, he in the elevator with his shirt off. Okay. So was it deserving? Was it deserving? I'm going to say, yeah. Right. Now, in the woman's eyes, it's like, no, I don't deserve that. But come on, this man is taking on a role. His portfolio seemed like he has a pretty good portfolio from what I've read from the article. This man took on you and your 3 children. I mean, at some point in time, a man who's making a decent amount, a high value man or a man of means, right? Somebody who's in the upper tax bracket, I should say, at some point in time, like, hey, I'm gonna step out every once in a while. Like, I took on you and your 3 kids. Like, this is bound to happen. We saw this when Kevin Samuels was alive. Rest in peace to him. On his YouTube channel, he explained this. He was like, hey, man, expect this man to utilize his options if you're going to be dating a man of this caliber. So this man exercised his options, and he went to the one place that I've been saying for years for brothers to stay away from, right? Anything below, you would have been better off going to Detroit, right? You're better off going to Detroit than going down to Brazil. Because at least in Detroit, I'm not saying that, hood rats have never drugged anybody. I'm not saying that, right? But hood rats, like, they first and foremost, like, some of these drugs got, like, that they using down there in South America. Most of the hood rats don't know shit about these drugs. All they know about is pills, right? Some of these chicks like, hey, man, look, I done heard about, people using these pills, and these people end up unalived, and I'm not trying to unalive nobody. Hell, this pussy good enough to put a motherfucker to sleep anyway, so I just put him to sleep with my pussy. Then when he's sleeping and snoring, I'm going to just take the watch, take the cash, take a credit card, and then I'm going to be out, right? Because I've read some of these articles in the local news where women are doing this, and you hear about all the time in Vegas, like a watch gets stolen, a wallet gets stolen, right? It's like trinkets get stolen. Some of these hood rats in some of these cities, well, Vegas is totally different, but in a place like Detroit, man, you might have somebody backdoor you, a chick might backdoor you, a chick might, like, damn, I woke up like it was 3 o'clock in the morning, this chick gone, and my watch was gone. It's like, no, like nobody's fixing you no drink, and it's that's kind of hood rats. That's like, it's not that it's never been done, but when people normally go to the drugging, that's some of these other non-black communities from what I've seen. I could be wrong, right? But that's not, they don't typically go through that, right? And they take little bullshit trinkets, right? So because in most of these little, especially in Vegas, most of these little Vegas robberies, like, it's always, man, the man went to the local authorities and gave a report and a statement and described who the lady was. And they said, well, she took this watch from me and this, that, and the third. I've seen it. The guys end up alive and they end up catching the lady. Right. I don't know, bro. Brazil might be worth the scope risk. They kind of bad. Man, look. They kind of bad. Right. They're barbaric. This man is not alive anymore. You talking about they kind of bad. And you talking about breath. Your name is Breath Deep, Breathe Deep. Your name is Breathe Deep. You're going to have your last breath fucking around with the women down there in Brazil. Keep on playing and go down. Your name, yeah, your name is Breathe Deep, all right. It's going to be your name, you're going to come back. Your ghost's going to come back and it's going to say last breath. Take your last breath. Breathe in deep and take your last one. That's how it is in Brazil. All right. See, in Vegas, Miami, you hear about people getting robbed all the time, right? But they are alive and they go to the local authorities and say, hey, this chick took my shit, and they end up catching her anyway. They not that slick. They're not as slick as they think they are, right? And I'm pretty sure there have been somewhere people ended up unalive. But here's the thing. Salute to Jordan Brilliant. All right. Here's the thing. And this is another point I want to make. Where can men go? Where can you go? Where can you go? They done brought a lot of people from South America over in the country, and they made it legal for them to prostitute, but made it illegal for you to engage. They're trying to come up. They're trying to rob some of these women out there, and this was a young 23-year-old. She didn't have to do that. Well, I could see if it was like a 33-year-old, it's like, damn, I'm getting too old and I'm in the game and I didn't really come up with anything. I have nothing to show for it. So that's a sign of desperation. Right. But a 23-year-old is like, come on now. Come on now. And I was talking about this with somebody the other day. The reason why women are doing this shit right now is because they have zero game. They have no game. Most women today, they have no game. The days of a gold digger are long gone. All right. There's no such thing as a gold digger nowadays in 2024. Right. You got women out here who are just, they're desperate. They're thirsty. Right. And they are begging. You got a lot of beggars out here. You don't have gold diggers anymore. You have a lot of beggars out here who one of their tactics is shaming tactics in order to get guys to give them to give them things, to give them, you know what I'm saying, to give them money, to give them trinkets and whatnot. Their only desperate attempt is like either shaming tactics or drugging and robbing somebody, because you don't have the skills in order to break a man's pockets, to break a man's wallet. Gold digging is playing the long game. And a lot of women that are gold digging, right, or begging, I should say, or they think they're gold digging, they're begging shit from guys that they really don't like anyways, right? See, a gold digger at one point in time was a very educated woman, right? Most of these women that are so-called begging and gold digging nowadays, they're not educated at all. A gold digger back then, you know, a gold digger had to do research, right? You had to be in, there was no social media back then. You had to be in the right place, the right time, dressed the part, be in shape. You know, everything has to be done, dipped from head to toe, right? And you had to do enough research. You had to be well traveled. You had to know enough to be able to be in a circle. And when somebody, you had to get information out of a person without even asking them the question. So that when somebody tells you their occupation, you have enough knowledge and enough sense in the back of your mind to know, okay, all right, this person is you know, this, that, and the third. Okay, yeah, he's around the low six figures. Okay, cool. You know, I'm gonna keep him around, right? Where your grace and your beauty, your grace, the way you talk, the way you carried yourself, it was so intoxicating that it would make a man want to. It's like, man, no, not only do I want this woman, I need a woman like this. You don't have women like that no more. When the last time you seen a thorough gold digger? Now these women, they show up overweight, tattoos, breath stinking, right? Can't dress. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it went from a woman who had who was very charismatic, loquacious, you know, her grace, the tone of her voice, the smell, you know, the knowledge that she had, knowing different languages, you know, well traveled. You know, it went from that to where women started asking, what do you do for a living? Right? Then it went from what do you do for a living to how much do you make? Then it went from how much do you make to, oh, now it's like, you think a man with money, it's like real juvenile shit, right? You hear a man at one point in time when a lot of people were riding around with woofers in the trunk, it's like, okay, damn, he got rims and woofers. Shit. He has rims and woofers. He got money, right? Then it went from you seeing something nice that another man has, and then you suggest that he buys it for you, right? I remember one time, like, was it 2024, right? It's about 19, 20 years ago. At one point in time, we didn't have GPS on our phones. We didn't have GPS at all. If you wanted a GPS system, you had to go to the store, go to Best Buy and buy the big block GPS and stick it on your window. I forgot the name of the one that I purchased. They were like $600, $800 back then, right? Man, I remember a chick came into my car when I had it, and she said, "Oh, damn! Oh, that's you got you a GPS system? Oh, you gonna buy me one?" Then it went from women are suggesting for you to buy them things without ever really earning for it. Now it comes from, now we're at the point where women are shaming you if you're not taking care of all the bills in the house, if you're not using your money to trick off on them, right? Now they're shaming you for it. And it went from shaming to certain women that are in the game, right? Since you don't really know how to, whatever price you put up there up front, you get the money up front. And then it's kind of like you put it down on somebody so good that they tip you, right? Now you got them as a client. Now it's like, okay, that little money that you tell them to offer, now it's like, nah, here you go. You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't mine, I'm not yours, but here you go. Now I go from hundreds to thousands. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you don't have that anymore. Tom, yes, that's the one I had. Thank you. That's what I had. Tom. I had a Tom. This chick came into my car. She said, "Ooh, you gonna buy me one?" I'm like, "That's your strategy in order to get something about me?" I don't know, man. Like I just come from a side of town where a woman didn't have to ask a man for nothing. It was just that she know how to make a man feel so good being in their presence that men would, men would do things that they normally wouldn't do in order to keep this woman around. And that involved tricking. And she didn't ask for no prize. She wasn't in the game. It was just, I've seen women. I've been seeing this since I was 8 years old, right? I'm not going to say who it was, but I have a family member, female family member. She came to visit when I was a kid. And man, when I tell you that everybody on the block, everybody in the area was infatuated with this family member of mine. See, they don't make women like that no more, right? And she didn't have a BBL, right? She didn't get lip injections. She didn't have breast implants. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have designer from head to toe. She had a natural hair. She didn't have no a sew-in or that glue-on wig, right? She didn't have the cut and paste wig on. She was her natural self, but her personality and how she carried herself was so infectious that, man, like everybody wanted to know who this chick was, right? So they don't make those kind of women no more. And unfortunately, you got women who, it's like they don't really know how to show a man such a good time that it would make somebody want to keep them around and want to spend more money. And here's the thing that we know about brothers. See, brothers, we know about each other very well. If a woman wants if you're trying to get money out of a man, out of a black man, be nice to him, be respectful to him. Be nice, be respectful, call him sweet names, pause, right? Cook for him, wash his clothes, fold his clothes. Oh man, let me tell you, this man probably would have bought a house for a woman like that. And I'm pretty sure he had the money to do so, according to this article in his portfolio it was a $14 million portfolio he had. That was that the article stated. I'm sure providing for somebody in Brazil, it wouldn't have been that much. Right? Men, we know. We know each other. Like, brothers don't come out the pocket up front. You treat them nice and show them a good time. Oh, there's some of the biggest tricks you'll ever meet in your life, especially a non-Black American. Some of the biggest tricks in your life. Now, I don't know too much about the Jamaicans, but I know if he was African, oh man. Africans are some of the biggest tricks I ever met in my life, right? So I don't know about the Jamaicans, but guys, I don't know what to tell you. This should be enough evidence for you to stop going down to South America, lay low, right? I've been saying this for years. Go to developed countries, go to first world countries, right? Go to first world countries and do your best, right? Get out, get active, speak with people. I mean, this could happen in a first world country. This can happen anywhere. But it's happening way too often in South America. A lot of people are losing their lives. And I'm tired of seeing it. Right? I don't know what to say. You know, go to a safe country and come on, man. Brazil is way more dangerous down there than it is. All them South American countries are way more dangerous than America. Remember, America, the murder rate is like what, 6.3 murders per 100,000 people in America. There are safe pockets in America. You see what I'm saying? That are way safer than these countries down in South America, man. But when I give people an ultimatum, it goes to one ear and out the other. And I don't have the biggest platform, but so I'm not really talking about you guys, you know, but from what I see in these group chats, these Facebook groups and other YouTube channels, man, the message has gotten around saying, hey, you know, leave South America alone. But I don't, the message has been floating around for quite some time. And guys, they just don't want to listen. They don't listen. What about the Caribbean islands? Man, I said first world countries. I said first world countries. Are the Caribbean islands first world countries? No. All right. But see, most guys want to travel to places where they have that red light district element so that when times get tough, right? When desperate times call for desperate measures. So, you know, when they just throw their hands up and said, oh, fuck it. Fine, I'll just pay for it. It's there. Right? And I seen it like, you know, she was attractive, but is it worth it? So let me drop the link again if you guys want to call in. Feel free to do so. I like to hear from you guys, but look, man, I'm here to tell you there was a TikTok video. As a matter of fact, I could play it. I will play it. I will play it. I uploaded. Whoa. I uploaded this to the Facebook group yesterday. All right. Let me play it. Or maybe it's from Instagram. It said biggest misconceptions for Chinese girls. And she has pictures of black men in the background. Maybe I should just go to the Facebook page, but hold on, I'll play it right here. Oops.
Biggest misconceptions for Chinese girls. First, we don't like black guys. Second, we don't like black guys. Lastly, we don't like black guys. Biggest misconception.
So she showed ASAP Rocky Obama, and then I think the other guy was a soccer player, right? Biggest misconceptions about Chinese girls, we don't like black guys. She said it 3 times. I've been telling you guys for years when I was in Beijing, China, right? Women left and right called me handsome, right? I talked about my stories before. Some of my coworkers, which I don't advise anybody messing around with their coworkers, but hey, man, I was in China and they was doing too. They was just too fine. They was fine China that I worked with, but most of these girls they were only there for a while, and then things started to heat up once they left, right? But I go to the club, cooperation. I go to work, cooperation, right? I remember I met two girls at a restaurant one time. My first time going to a restaurant, I got both of their WeChat information. Uh, and I met up with them later on. But and then one of the finest women that I had a serious, well, two fine women. One of them I had a real serious relationship with. I met her online, and then the other chick one of them I met on the Beijinger, thebeijinger.com. That's like a popular um that's a popular what do you call those kind of websites? Basically, there's a lot of job listings on there, a lot of information about Beijing, and um if you want to post anything, if you're selling something, if you need help with something, a lot of business was exchanged on their website on the Beijinger, and there's a lot of news on there. I met a woman I had a very serious relationship with, very, very, very cute, right? She was like 22 years old. And, I met her on there. And then there was another chick who I met on Tinder, right? She was actually from Vancouver. I can't even say her name because she's like a popular media figure over there. I can't even show a picture of her because if I did, it's like I went to her Twitter the other day, and she has like over almost 200,000 followers on there on Twitter right now. So I wouldn't even post her picture up there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put her out there like that. Like we used to hook up and everything. But here's the thing. I always tell guys go to China. Guys don't want to do that. Guys want to go to Pattaya and South America. I'm sorry, guys, but if you want to be remembered as this, right? You keep going to these dangerous places. Now I feel sorry for Mr. Dwayne. My condolences. It's so sad that we had to hear about this. And I hope this woman who did this to him is punished to the highest extent of the law. But I want justice for this man right here. Sorry that his lady had to find out this way. But this is sad, man. He didn't have to go through this. There's a balance beam of life, right? And when you go to different countries, like if you go to some of these first world countries, right, they're very high end, and the travel community is deemed as well, the women are difficult and westernized over here. The further down you go, the lower the GDP is in a country. Brothers think that the higher, the cooperation level is at its highest. And if that don't work, I can give her a few dollars and get sex out of her. I'm sorry, guys, but you guys gotta, I'm not even going to say we because I'm not a part of this scenario. I don't go to places like this, but you guys out there, you got to do better. I hope to not ever have to hear from this again. I remember one time, was this Colombia or Brazil? There was a man from New York. There was a couple from New York that actually went down someplace in Colombia or Brazil, and they were driving back to the airport, and somebody ran them off the road, and I think they robbed them. And it's like, so this is happening to couples also. I'm all for guys getting their passports and traveling, but please be careful. And just because that, anybody, well, everybody that goes down there doesn't end up unalived. All right. There's some guys who, they got lucky and they found the right one, and they've been going back and forth from Brazil to America for years. And they have a long-term, long-distance relationships. Some of these guys have, you know, done the proper documentation to get their ladies over here, and everything has worked out fine. But so I'm not saying it's 100% of guys, but it's like I hear this just so much. It's sad. Where are the best places in China for black guys to meet women? Beijing. Beijing, Shenzhen. Well, Shenzhen is cool. Like if you travel over to Shenzhen, you're right there. There's a train that connects to Hong Kong, so you can go back and forth and decide for yourself. But I've never really kicked it in Shanghai like that. But I know brothers. I know brothers that are, I don't like to judge a man for his looks, but I know brothers that they got a face that only their mother can love. Red Fox, the comedian Red Fox, rest in peace. He said this. He's like, he said this. He said, he told somebody, "You so ugly, I could dip your face in dough and make gorilla cookies." You got some guys that I've seen, brothers who have lived in China, where if you dip their face in dough, you can literally make gorilla cookies with their face, and they still came out of there with beautiful women on their arms. I've seen brothers with some pretty women on their arms in China. Like the women that I've never dealt with anything less than a 6. Like I see brothers with nothing but 8s in China. I'm keeping it real. No. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. Like the person I'm talking about, he's a black guy from Saudi Arabia. So I don't. If you thinking I'm talking about somebody else, that's not what I'm talking about. I think I know who you're trying to bring up. I'm not bringing up anybody that you know. I know somebody, black dude from Saudi Arabia. This man, he's never hugged a woman. It was illegal for him to hug. He's never kissed a woman. He was a virgin. He went to university, I think in Nanjing, China. And I still got the pictures. He used to send me pictures all the time of women that he hooked up with in China. Really, 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 really dark skin. I'm talking about like, think of a younger version of Don Cheadle with a Stephen A. Smith hairline. That's what he looked like. Picture a 19-year-old, extremely black like Don Cheadle with a hairline that starts in the middle of his head like Stephen A. Smith. That's what I'm with glasses. That's what I'm talking about. And he's from Saudi Arabia. And he pulls some bad bitches over there in China. So I got to catch up with him. I lost contact with him, but if he was married with kids right now, I wouldn't be shocked. Because he used to send me pictures. I'm like, damn, she cute. I'm like, all right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. He was doing his thing out there. So, and mind you, he went to China as a virgin with no experience, never even hugged a woman because it was illegal. I've been going to China since 2008. Never bring them back here. Yeah. Never bring them back over here. See, what cities have you been to in China? Because many people, they know about Beijing and Shanghai, but these other little small towns, which are not really small, they still have millions of people in these smaller towns. It'd be a town with like 6 million people that you've never heard of in China, and it's booming over there, right? And man, I used to walk the streets. I'd be on a train, like a cute woman to come up to me. She's like, it was the weirdest thing. It was just like, hey, well, oh my God, you're so handsome. You're so handsome. I'm like, okay, thank you. Can I get your WeChat? I'm so sorry. I have to go. Bye bye. Or no, I have a boyfriend. Or oh no, I'm married. Like they can't help but to tell you that you're handsome over there. It's like, okay, damn. Right? There's cute women over there, but brothers, they just want to they want to dwell and play in quicksand. You want to play in quicksand. And I'm trying to tell you, like, hey man, I don't want to see this ever again. I'm my heart goes out to this man and his family. Like it's sad. You know, brothers, man, that's what we do. We step out every once in a while and especially when you got it like that. But this brother right here, man, why did he have to go to Brazil? They said it was a business trip. I'm curious as to what kind of business trip, because what business would somebody from Minneapolis have in Brazil? And I don't know. I'm thinking like, my middle class brain, I don't never had that business, never been that level of a business minded person before. So what do I know? I'm just curious. Oh man. Abe, you came late. You're gonna have to watch the rebroadcast. But to give you a gist, this man, he's from Minneapolis, Jamaican American. He went down to Brazil with his homie, met up with 2 girls, drugged, robbed, same old, same old. I ain't doing, but see, he's saying Brazil or Colombia, but he probably has it in mind with another South American country. And no, I'm just telling brothers all together, just if you can, stay away from South American countries. They don't. You see, that's bad business right there, right? You didn't even finesse this man. You unalived him. Come on now. So, in other news, I talked about this on Patreon earlier today. I went to the Mercedes-Benz dealership, right? Not because I wanted to buy anything. I'm not going to buy Benz or whatever. I just wanted to do a test drive. I thought it'd be fun just to do a test drive. I looked at the CLE and I said, well, there's not enough headroom for me. So then I looked at the E-Class, and they had the one I liked. They had one that I liked up in there. They had that Alpine gray. Oh man, that night package on the car. Man, you want to know something that was very disappointing? When I was there, and the guy who had to ride with me as I was test driving this car, very nice guy. Very nice, and that's what it's all about. Now that he wasn't the salesman, right? It was a saleswoman. So the saleswoman, to me personally, from my experience on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I would have to give her about a 4 or a 5. Right? I didn't really like her that much, right? She wasn't over the top rude, but she was kind of like, She did ask what's the occasion? Is it a special occasion? Because if it is, then they have to put a red bow around your car when they deliver it to you. Okay, that's why they asked that. But she was like, okay, what's the timeline of you thinking you might purchase one? Oh, I just threw out a number, maybe within 2 years. Is there any reason why you got to wait 2 years? I'm like, ma'am, I'm like, why are you asking me these questions? Like, you know what I'm saying? What kind of car do you drive? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Just see other dealerships. They was like, hey, you know what? Whether it's 2 months or 2 years or 20 years, take your time and keep us in mind when you're thinking about purchasing your next vehicle. That's the kind of customer service you have to give, right? Not like you just pushing for a sale right then and there, like, no. But the guy who had to ride with me, because she didn't ride with me, this other guy was designated to ride with me. He was cool. I'm riding the Benz, right? And I test drove the E-Class. Man, like the interior was nice. But one thing that took away, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. They want your money, but don't make it obvious. Like, damn, like I've been to places where they say, hey, we'll always be here. Right. I just wanted to test drive because I haven't been in a vehicle that low to the ground in a very long time. Like I drive, my personal vehicle is a truck, right? I haven't, when I was in Canada, my personal vehicle was a truck. I haven't driven like a sedan in a very long time. Like, so the windshield was kind of too small for me. And, but one thing that Benz has that I don't know if any other car manufacturer have, their seats in the vehicle, they're massage chairs. So you could turn on, you can go into the screen and turn on the massage functionality, and your seat is like sitting in a massage chair while you're driving. I'm like, I've never been in this before, right? There were air vents in the headrest. So if it's like it was 100 degrees today, right? It's 100 degrees outside and you want the air blowing on your neck, you can literally go into your console in the car, in the vehicle, and turn on the air and have the air blow cold air on the back of your neck, 65 degrees air on the back of your neck. I was like, oh, damn. But you know why it comes with that kind of shit? You know why Mercedes, they do that kind of shit, that unnecessary ass shit, right? Having a massage chair while you're driving. You know why they do that? It's because when I got in the vehicle, the first thing I noticed was Mercedes, they have they don't have analog speedometers anymore. It's all digital. And then this center console, there's like another iPad looking screen in the middle. That takes away from the class of Mercedes, right? Because all these new vehicles, they have screens in them, right? When you used to get inside a Beamer or a Benz, the console was customized, the materials they use where, something you don't see in a Honda or Toyota, right? The console the console of Mercedes-Benz vehicles, they set themselves apart from other name brand vehicles or other lower brand, the affordable brands, I should say, more affordable brand vehicles. Like, hey, you're stepping into luxury over here. Now, like, it's no different. Like, I've been in like Hyundai Tellurides, Genesis. I've been in Teslas, a bunch of Teslas. You know, I've been in Lexuses, right? I've been in, like, I'm talking about 2024. These brands that I'm naming off, all of them look the same in the inside. Hell, the interior of these Hondas look better than, you know, a Benz, right? It's all the screen, the digital dash with the screen center console. It's like, what am I getting out of Mercedes that I'm not getting out of something else? That's why, you know, if you look at the price tag, Mercedes has very affordable cars, right? It's not something where you think you finna go in there and get a C class and it starts off at like 90 grand. No, right? The thing about Benz is their listed price for that E class, it was about 62 grand. But they have a lot of pre-owned vehicles that are on the lot that are still 2024, but they only have like 7,000 miles on it, right? And their listed price is at like 46,000. So as soon as it steps off the lot and you drive like a couple thousand miles on it, the listed price goes down by like 15 grand. And you know, the days of $15,000, $20,000 cars are long gone, right? The average vehicle, especially for an affordable vehicle, you're gonna spend about 30 grand, right? In the 30s. So, you know, so I just wanted to do a test drive. I wasn't thinking about purchasing one, anything, but in the future, you know, who knows, right? If I'm lucky, you know, I know how it feels to drive one. Now the lights looked nice, right? Driving a Benz at night, the interior looks nice, like on the door panels, next to the pedals, on the dash. You could change it whatever color you like. That sets themselves apart from other car manufacturing companies. But man, like that massage chair, to me that was unnecessary. And I think they only added that in there because, man, what are we doing? Because now it's like everybody's just on the same footing. It seems like it's like, you know, but I don't want to go on and on. That was just my experience today. And it was kind of sad to see. It's like now, you know, you think you're buying yourself in the class, and then you see somebody pull up in a Hyundai and the interior looks better in the Hyundai than it does in the Benz. So what's the point of getting a Benz? The only reason why you get the Benz is like the service. They get free car washes. You get free car washes at the Mercedes-Benz dealership if you buy a Benz, right? They have an app called Me App, and if you press a button, it's much different than OnStar, where you get all the same services as you would with OnStar with the Me service with Mercedes-Benz. It's just that with the Me service, you can also like make reservations at a hotel. You can buy tickets to, you know, a basketball game or football game by pressing a button and making a phone call. It's through like the Mercedes-Benz service. You know, you can order food and set reservations at a restaurant, you know, through that service. So you never have to pull over and look into your phone for anything or set it up on the dash. Everything is there at the center console and at the push of a button. That was kind of OD, but it was cool. But it was man, I was very low to the ground. I was like, I haven't been that low in a very long time. So it was a fun experience though. It was a fun experience. When you walk in, it's like it's a huge front desk with like 4 people sitting in the front, you know. But anyways, I've been talking long enough. You guys be safe. Go to first world countries if you want to travel. Work on your day game. Work on your approach. Gain more confidence. Work on your social skills. That's the important thing. Work on your social skills. You get better results no matter where you go. Okay, so it's 8:00 where I'm at. In 1 hour, I'm gonna get back on live, but I'm gonna play the Black Myth Wukong. I think it's Black Myth Wukong. I'm gonna do a live stream of that game for about 1 hour. Right? I just got it on PlayStation earlier this morning. I'm not able to play it until 9 p.m. So don't go too far. In approximately 48 minutes, I'm going to get back on here and do a live stream. Black Myth Wukong, if you look that up right now, it's kind of a mixture of like Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, and Planet of the Apes all mixed in one. All right? So, salute to Nick Travels. Just don't date pros. You won't get drugged. Hey, man. Look, look, you gonna tell brothers to stop dating these hoes? See, brothers, they got the nerve to call women in America hoes and then go right outside of America to Pattaya, go straight to Pattaya, go straight to Brazil and deal with even more dangerous and violent hoes, right? You're preaching to the choir. We know this already, right? We've shown all the examples of this. I'm showing one right now. We've seen the examples for years. But hey, Breath Deep, you have to join my Patreon page for that. I'm going to put the link for as a matter of fact, I'm going to update, as soon as I end this live, I'm going to update the description box with the Patreon page and the Facebook page. I talk about that on the Patreon page. I got a bunch of videos talking about that on the Patreon page. You're going to have to join to hear me on that. All right. So you guys take care. I'm over and I'm out. I see you guys. What time is it? 47 minutes. Peace. And the live I'm going to do in 47 minutes. It's a gaming stream. So if you're not interested in gaming, then you don't have to tune in. But I'm going to play that Black Myth Wukong for you guys in 47 minutes. All right. Take care. Peace.